So I thought I'd make you a brief video outlining a part of an electrical inspection. So right now we're outside, and you can see here at the top, this is our weatherhead on top of the service mast. Okay, we see the cable coming over from the electric company. We want to make sure that those clearances are good. And we look here at the main service cable, and these are the only type of connections that are acceptable. Okay, but we can count 1, 2, so 2 hots, and then here's our neutral going in. You can see that that neutral is spliced. That also is attached to the service mast, and that's normal that that happens. So we know that this is 240 volts. So you got 120, 120, and we're always going to have the neutral. All right, as we scroll down, we can see that the service mast is not in good condition. It's actually being pulled. I'm not sure what this bracket was going to nothing really, going to the garage, but it's making it actually worse. And as you scroll down, you can see the problem we have here right at the meter. And that's pulling out, so that's going to be a major issue that's going to have to be taken care of. We'll also look at the flashing around here. Okay, we go down to the meter. That should be attached to the house. You can see it is. It shouldn't have any rust or damage. Also, let's take a look at what we can see, which is not much of the main service cable, and that should be in good condition. Should be sealed here. It should not be cracking or showing signs of fraying or anything like that. Here's our ground coming out and going down, and I believe the picture ends there anyway, so we can't see any more of it. But that ground should go all the way down. I think it goes this way and then down into the ground. Okay, so that's the outside. And we're going to go inside right now, and here is the main service panel. A couple of things here. If you look at the top, you're going to see our 2 conductors coming in, our 2 hot. See, it's got a red stripe on it, and then here's our neutral. All right, so we'll say right there is our neutral, and we've got 2 hots. We got one right there and one right there to give us our 240 volts. We see that here's our service size. 100 amps. We know that that's a number 2 aluminum, so that's good. So as we move down and look around the box, we make sure that the insulation only sticks in about 1 inch or so. We see that this box looks to be wired pretty good. Scroll down a little bit, and we're going to check all these breakers to make sure that they're amped properly. We see this is a 240 volt double pole breaker linked. Here is our black, which is hot. Here is our red, which is hot. So we're going to check every breaker, make sure. If that's a 15, that should have a 14 gauge wire, but if it's a 15, it could have a 14 or a 12 gauge wire. Over here, if we have a 12 gauge wire, it should be, if we have a 20 amp, it should have a 12 gauge wire, and so on. If it was smaller, it would be overamped. If it's larger, it's okay. So we look, this is the center, and our Z bar is here, and we see that that is our hot lug in the center. We look over here and we can see our ground and neutral, or neutral and ground. Why I call that the ground is because I'm looking at that green screw, which is probably attached directly to the box. There's also going to be a bonding bar between these because this is our main service panel. I believe that bonding bar goes right underneath here. You can see it's coming out on that end. It looks to be where the bonding bar is. Another 240 volt. This is an older cloth insulated conductor. These are the newer Romex or plastic insulated conductors. So we're also going to look for ground in the box. And we can see here's one right here, a main ground going out. One of them we saw going outside. There's another one right here. See it? I'll make a little arrow to it. And then another one right here. So the 2 grounds. And that's good, right? Ground connects right here on that bus. This ground connects right here on that bus. We want to make sure nothing is double tapped or overloaded. We look here, another 240 volt. You see our red and our black. That looks good. There's a couple of spaces here where we can add additional circuits if we wanted to. And it looks like one of these goes to a sub panel, which we're going to look at right now. And here is the sub panel. And the main thing I want to show you, it's a number 2 also at 100 amp, so which is okay because it's not larger than the main. We talked about that. The sub panel, we're going to check each one. We'll see that. Take a look at a couple things. It's 15. We're not too concerned if it's a 15 because we know it's going to be not going to be overamped unless it's got, you know, speaker wire or something. Another 15. There's a 20. But take a look right here, and you'll see that that's double tapped. All right. Let me change the color of that. Let's see a little bit better. See that that's double tapped. The other thing is, because this is a sub panel, you're going to see very clearly that the neutrals and the grounds are separate. So right here is our ground. You see that's connected right to the box, and all of the bare ground wires go into there like they're supposed to. And then right below it, right here, is our neutral. See, they're not connected anymore. So they are two separate buses, and you look in here and you're going to see all in here, right? These are all neutral or white wires. See, it's all copper electric, copper conductors. It appears to be in pretty good shape. Right over here, this firm point, is a doorbell. Sometimes that doorbell will be double tapped or double lugged. They don't make a big deal out of that because that's usually smaller or stranded wire. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to check all these breakers, make sure that they're all amped correctly. We're going to look for any type of corrosion or damage in the box, and on the sub panel we'll make sure that the neutrals and the grounds are separate like they are. And that's just a brief overview of electrical inspection.